All right, looking at these last few in 11.6, you might not get any of these problems in the Hawks learning system, but they have included them in the past, so I just want to show you a few of these. It's a little backwards thinking. On number 2, we worked from a factored form of a quadratic into the factored form, and then we developed our two solutions. Okay, so at this point we kind of have to think, what from this right here, what binomial would produce that solution. And if we remember from the previous ones that it's x plus 3 because it's the opposite of that sign that would produce that as a solution. And then what would produce, x equals 5? Okay, well, that would be x minus 5 because this is a positive 5, and so we just use the opposite sign there. And then we write that as equals 0. So this is the factored form of it, okay? And then if we write it, it says write it in standard form. What we'd need to do is multiply this out using FOIL, okay? And so using FOIL, we get x squared. Outside is minus 5x. Inside is 3x. So we get minus 2x, and then we get minus 15 equals 0. So it's kind of just some backwards thinking there. We have the solutions. What would produce those solutions, okay? So looking at B here, thinking about this one, remember the bottom number, the denominator is the coefficient, and then the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. Then the denominator is 7, so I put that in front of the x. And then the numerator is 2, so I'll put minus 2. Don't forget your equals 0 or it's not an equation, okay? So don't forget that. And then I can multiply this out. I get 14x squared. Outside is negative 2x. Inside is 21x. Sorry, that's negative 4x, okay? And then 21x. That's going to make 17x. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. There's our quadratic in standard form. Okay. Now this last one here, we have to think about what can produce an x equals 0. And we saw some different examples of these, but an easy one is to just put an x. Okay. Then for this one, we can put 2x plus 1. Remember, the bottom number, the denominator, goes as the coefficient. The top number changes signs. The numerator changes signs. And then we have 3x minus 2. Okay? And so if we need to write this in standard form, remember the FOIL part is the best probably to do first here. So I get 6x squared minus 4x plus 3x is minus x, and then minus 2. So be careful with your FOIL. That still needs to be taken times x, okay? That was my front one here, remember, from that x equals 0. So I have 6x to the third minus x squared minus 2x equals 0. So I distribute that x to everything. Okay, like I said, you might not get any of those, but it's there for you if you need it. So hopefully you can kind of think through those backwards. That wraps up Module 11. Thanks a lot.